Welcome, friends and enemies, to episode 71 of The Adventures of the Bane Glorious. We've got everybody. We've got Ed.
Hello.
We've got Kathryn.
Hello.
We've got Jess.
Hello.
We've got Simon.
Hello, okay.
And we've got our returning special guest, Adam.
Buongiorno.
Yay.
So, last time you were involved in the competition. You had a brief fractious period with the Skipstone sisters, but through Erallur's use of suggestion and a little bit of persuasion, you managed to turn them around to working together. You then went through a couple of chambers that involved monsters and puzzles and managed to come through them fairly handily, including some gelatinous cubes, a crystal puzzle, and a shambling mound. You then were introduced to the remaining members of the Sixth Chord, and through some interesting use of suggestion the other way around from them, Flint was convinced to work with them, but also the individual who had the large sword and was very muscular seemed to sense something on Juniper, but you all decided that you would work together and went to the final chamber where the sword appeared to be lodged in stone. You eventually managed to get it out through a little work from both Saluk and Truffle. And once you had managed to recover it, you discovered that it was just a wooden sword. At this point, you were moved in the chamber that you were in and brought to the source of a pair of different voices that you had not really heard before, and were introduced first again to Sir Elsie as she was kicked down the stairs, then again to the small half-orcish girl, and an individual that you had never met before who has a flying snake-like creature wrapped around their arm, a deep blue cloak that shadows their face, and the most distinguishing feature, a metal left hand. They stated that they wanted the Sword of Souls back and were expecting you to help them beat the information out of Sir Elsie. That is where you are, in the circular chamber where the fake Sword of Souls had been lodged in the stone. You are faced across the room with this individual and his companion. What would you like to do?
So you said they were coming down some stairs, is that right?
They have come down the stairs, yes. So
Okay.
Sir Elsie was kicked down and rolled to the bottom. The half-orcish girl skipped down after her, and then this individual came down after both of them.
Okay. What is everyone else's general... Does anyone seem to be reacting to what's going on, or does anyone seem to be particularly unsurprised by this turn of events?
Roll an insight check.
Okay. 15.
You noticed when this individual came down and started speaking that the members of the Sixth Chord all appeared to be on their guard and reaching for their weapons. It's very difficult to read the individual in the mask's body language and face. They've kept themselves quite staid, but the other two not necessarily were expecting this, but seemed to recognize the individual in some way.
Okay.
So two members of that little group.
Yes, the burly guy and Sixth.
Yeah.
Do I recognize the mysterious person?
Roll a history check.
17.
You have an inkling that you have heard of an individual who has a metal hand, who works with the Black Network in Waterdeep in some capacity. You don't know their name, and you don't know strictly what their position is, but given the circles you move in, you are aware that they are part of the Genterim.
Right, okie dokie.
What was that last thing you said? Part of the what?
The Genterim, the Black Network.
How do you spell that?
It's ZHENTARIM.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
So are you doing anything else? Or are you just letting the silence stretch?
Well, the last thing this person said was, you're going to help me find a sword, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I recognise the green creature?
Roll a nature check.
18.
You do. It is a flying snake.
Flag snake.
Yeah.
What makes you think that we're going to help you?
Because if you don't, I will kill you.
I'd like to see you try.
Really? You're fun.
Well, I do try sometimes.
Skipstone, isn't it?
That's us.
Pirate?
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard of you.
All good things, I hope.
Mixed.
Hmm.
You've interfered with a few of my shipments from time to time.
Sounds about right.
The rest of you? You planning to fight as well?
Can I gauge the room?
Roll an insight check.
Let's read the room. 23.
Yeah, with Elsie, she's turned the tension up a notch. And you can see that Maud's hands are starting to crackle a little bit. Sixth is looking distinctly nervous. The burly gentleman, his hand was already on the large sword, and he just brings it out so you can see the sheen of metal. It looks like they are very ready for a fight. The individual has not moved, and neither has his half-orcish companion.
I'm just going to ready my weapon in case anything does kick off. If it looks as though we're about to be attacked, I want to fire a bolt at the man with the metal hand.
Okay.
Is, what's her name? The knight.
Elsie.
Elanthe. Is she unconscious?
She appears to be very bloodied and struggling to stand up, but not managing.
And she's not restrained in any way?
No, doesn't appear to be.
Right. But has she had a weapon taken away?
She has no weapons on her.
Yeah.
And she's
Okay.
wearing no armor.
Yeah.
Ed, are you trying to do that surreptitiously?
Yeah, I'd say I'll hope that no one really understands how my thing works.
Okay.
So I'm just going to.
I would say make a sleight of hand check, though, just because moving your hand onto the trigger
That's a 12.
doesn't seem to be a reaction from anybody.
Okay.
So how many people are there on our side?
There are Erallur, Saluk, Flint, Juniper, Elsie, Maud, Sixth, the masked individual, and the large dude. So
So
9.
possibly 9.
Yeah,
Okay. And there's the goblin and
half orc.
Oh, I thought there was a goblin girl.
No, she's a half orc girl.
Oh, right, sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
And this person, the masked
Mhm.
person.
I'm not very good at reading rooms, but I don't think you're going to get much help here.
That's a shame. Shall we get to it then?
Get to what exactly?
Well, if you're not going to help me, I assume you're going to fight me.
Well,
And as Elsie said, I'd like to see you try.
If you need so much help to get this sword, rather makes it look like maybe we're a bit more capable than you.
That's an interesting suggestion, Erallur. Let's just say I am a man who prefers not to engage in hostilities if I need not to. You've interfered in my operations before, but I am happy to let bygones be bygones. Simply help me find the sword, and your debt to me will be paid.
so does that mean that the sword's not here then?
Elanthe has apparently stored it somewhere other than in this room. Why she put it up for competition in the first place is something I'm sure we'd all like to know. But I assume it's in her tower, given that she had control over it. So we simply need to either investigate or pull apart the entire place, which could take weeks, or get the information from her.
So you're saying you want it back.
I do.
So it was yours to begin with.
It was.
How did you lose such a thing if you're
I-
so powerful as you see?
I didn't lose anything. It was stolen from me.
Oh, too bad.
Yeah, that was careless.
It was. The individual who allowed it is no longer with us.
Can Michael, the DM, please remind me what we interfered with, or me, or whoever it was?
A long time ago in the sewers of Waterdeep, you met an individual called the Lady who was
Yeah.
working with the Genterim.
Right, I think I forgot that small detail.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my
I
God.
remember the lady.
What did
Yeah,
we do?
She
we
was
were
working with the Genterim to ship and steal magical items.
Yes.
Adam and I
And-
were busy wading through sewage, and you guys went and stuck.
Oh,
But
yeah.
what did we take stuff or
You discovered the operation, you took a few things. The lady said that because she had been discovered, the operation should be nixed,
okay.
and then had left using a dimension door, but not before she'd gone into Flint Mind.
Were there not barrels or boxes with Was it full Argent crest on it, or was it something else? Yeah, that was it.
I remember that part.
That was the connection. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
This is 50 episodes ago, so
Yeah.
I'm not
It's
surprised.
all coming back to me now.
Okay. So, sorry, just to get this straight. You think I owe you because I came across some sloppy work of someone that it works with you or something, so I've ruined stuff by just being there because they allowed that to happen?
By accident, yes. It's almost more insulting that way.
Mm-hmm.
You probably need to be more careful with the people that you employ.
I was told you were insolent. I kind of like it. I don't get it often.
I was going to say I prefer spunky.
Ha! You didn't mean.
So, shall we stop this dance and start anew? I assume you're not going to help me from the fact that you seem to be stalling. And Mr. Hookbeard has his finger on the trigger of his gun.
Oh, you noticed? Oh, well,
I'm a very perceptive man, Mr. Hookbeard.
Perceive this, and I'm going to shoot.
Okay, can you roll an initiative check for me, please?
Catchphrase.
Because he was holding an action too, because he noticed.
I mean, if you were going to put a number on his perceptiveness, what would you?
You're not a monk.
Oh.
One between 0 and 20.
So that's 9.
Okay. Yeah, he goes first. So
He will perceive it.
You will perceive it very well.
Sorry, bear with me a moment. Looking up
Yeah,
spells. Okay, Flint, can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
I sure can. 15.
Okay. You fail
Okay.
as you see the metal hand coalesce with the other and crackling lightning arcs from both. You take 22 points of lightning damage.
Okay.
And you see that Maud, who was behind you, also takes some damage. Let's see. She does not succeed on the throw. So she takes some damage, and you can see that the scar on her face is livid, and she is looking quite scared and very hurt. Take your shot.
Okay. A 15.
That will hit.
Lovely. So 33 points of damage in total. So that's 10 of piercing and 23 of thunder damage.
Brilliant. Okay, so the cacophonous boom of the cannon is let off, and you see the individual's cloak arc back. You see the hood batter slightly in the force, and you see the grin of a man's face just underneath the shadow over the eyes. Can we roll initiative, please?
Yeah.
I will.
Oh man. Oh man. And I have +0. It's fine. There's no benefits to going earlier. Who needs to go early? I'm not rogue.
I
Yeah.
am. Thief Captain.
Presumably, like, you could teach thieves' cant to non-rogues if you had a thief in the party. They could spend a while teaching everyone.
Yeah, we've definitely
Pretty
discussed this
useful.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Terror is teaching Zini, isn't she? A bit.
That's true, I suppose so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, 25 to 20, anyone? Okay, 20 to 50?
Yep, 15 for Flint.
Okay,
19 for Elsie.
nice. 15 to 10? Okay, yeah.
So Truffle got 13.
13 for Truffle.
I also got 13.
What are your dexes?
+1.
That's more than one.
Okay, so Luke will be first then. And Juniper?
I got 12.
12, nice. And Erallur?
4.
Okay, so
Starting as we mean to continue.
first is Elsie. What are you going to do?
Oh,
Right.
can you run through the order for me, actually,
Sure.
so that I can scribble it down?
Yeah, sure. So it's
Okay.
Elsie first. Then it is collectively the sixth chord because there's 3 of them and I didn't want to roll 3 times.
Mhm.
Then it's Flint. Then it's Saluk. Then Truffle. Then Juniper. And I'm not going to tell you when the enemies are going because that'll come up. Then it's Erallur. And then with another natural one, it's a good old Maud.
Oh no.
Stupid.
Stupid Maud, yeah. I feel really bad for Maud.
I'd like to trade my sister in, please.
I feel like I identify with Maud.
I really identify with Maud and I love her very much, but she's going to die.
I feel like if she doesn't die during the fight, she's going to be the one that gets the soul sucked out by the storm.
Okay, so Elsie, what are you doing?
So, as my bonus action, I would like to dash.
Okay, where are you
while-
dashing to?
But while doing my dash, I would like to cast a spell, so it looks dramatic.
Okay, I'll allow it for flavour, yeah.
But only
Okay.
for that reason.
So I would like to dash towards the enemy.
Yeah, which one?
So the two of them are in front of us.
Yeah, they're basically just straight across the room from you.
Okay. But there would be space to move around them?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So I would like to dash.
Okay,
And while I'm dashing, I would like to cast invisibility.
okay, that's fine. So yeah, you go invisible.
Yep. And within my dash, because I've got 25 feet,
Yeah.
am I able to get behind the one that we were just talking to, the hooded
Yes,
person?
you are, yeah.
So I would like to, cast invisibility and then dash. As I'm dashing, then disappear and then go and hide behind them.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. Yeah, so Elsie sprints forward, disappears on the way. You have no idea where she is. Okay, so that was your action, your bonus action, and that's your movement. So I'm
That's me.
assuming that's the end of your turn.
Yes, as long as my dash has got me to being within range of the evil person, then I'm fine.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Cool.
So it is now the sixth chord's turn. Sixth is going to go first and is going to... Yeah, sixth is going to go into a rage and then is going to move forward. Has 40 feet of movement, so can get to the individual in the cloak and then is going to try and attack him. That's cocked. Oh, that's not as good. Ooh, that will just hit, so that's good. So you see Sixth let out a roar of frustration and almost trying to G himself up into this fight a little bit and charges forwards. His footsteps seeming a little bit heavier than you would expect from his slight build, and then he runs up and jabs a lance into the side of the gloved individual. And that is one attack, second attack, hits again. Ooh, better this time. Okay, and then brings the lance out and then tries to stab into the leg, and you see it actually go through the calf and almost pin him to the stone floor. And there's sparks that skip over as the metal of the point dashes over the floor. And then Vermil is going to come around and stand behind Juniper and Maud, almost in a intimidatory fashion, as a suggestion that if they try and come for the little ones, he will stop them, but doesn't attack. And then the masked individual is going to try and cast a spell. You see the hands move and the head of the half-orcish girl shake, but she seems to shake off the effect of whatever spell it was. So that's them. Flint, it is now your turn.
Okay, this guy threw some lightning at me, so I'm going to shoot him in the face.
Okay, you would need to move because Sixth is in your direct line.
I'll move somewhere where I have a clean shot.
Yeah, you could move around to the side on the far right of the room. You could get a clear shot that way.
And then that will be a 19 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Lovely. So let's do my crazy OP. So that's 10 points of piercing damage and then 24 points of thunder damage.
So 34 altogether.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going up in 1 point increments.
Okay, so there's another cacophonous boom, and you see that this individual is then, again, stumbles slightly off their feet. They look quite hurt already. Is that the end of your turn?
Is there anywhere I can go that will be slightly out of his view?
No, it's quite an open room, unfortunately, and you've already used quite a lot of your movement.
Okay, I'll just use my bonus action to reload in that case.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so at that point, because it is the end of your turn, the half-orcish girl manages to skip around, seemingly just through the individual, almost moving through their space oddly. It's a weird effect on your eyes, and then skitters up to you, Flint, and just looks you in the face and bares her teeth at you, almost standing directly between you and this individual. Okay, so Luke, it is now your turn.
Okay, I fly straight up into the air, about 10 feet. How high is the roof?
The roof is 40 feet high.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'd go up about 10 feet high, just so I'm above heads and I have a clear shot. And then I take out my lightning javelin.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and throw that at the metal hand man.
Okay.
Metal hand
With the, I'll see if it hits first.
Yeah.
Natural 1.
So you see a crackle of energy across the jagged point, and you hurl it, and it just lands fairly close to that group of individuals, but you were a bit scared of striking, particularly given that you knew that Elsie had gone invisible, and it just skitters and sparks as it arcs off across the marble floor. Is that the end of your go?
I'm a bit confused about this, because on D&D Beyond, it lists what you can do every turn, and it says attacks per action 2. Does that mean I have 2 attacks per combat round?
I think you might have an extra attack by this point.
Yeah.
Let me just check.
Because I think it's the phrasing of it.
Yes. At 5th level, you can attack twice, so you definitely
Fantastic.
can.
Lovely. So, with a squawk of frustration, which you'll all have to imagine, I'll get out.
Why do we have to imagine it?
Director's cut, you'll get it. I get out just a normal javelin, just a bog standard non-lightning javelin.
Got it?
Oh, I rolled a 2. So I get a
Great.
and so that's 11.
Okay, that will miss again, unfortunately. So you hurl the second javelin, but you've just got too much in your head, and it just lodges in the wall behind. Elsie, there is a brief moment where you see Saluk throwing this javelin and just duck as it suddenly goes in the stone behind you.
Okay, I think that's, yeah. Oh, well, can I fly over to that javelin I've just thrown? And
The one that lodged in the wall?
yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Would it take an action to retrieve it?
No, I would say bonus action.
I've retrieved the javelin.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. End of your turn?
Yep.
Great. Truffle's turn.
Cool. Okay, so you said the half-orc was stood in front of Flint just baring her teeth?
Yeah, almost in a cat hiss.
But she doesn't appear to be... Is that all she did with her go? Or...
That wasn't her turn.
Oh, right. Okay, my bad. Cool, okay. Yeah, Truffle's gonna go for... The guy with the hood, is he on his own? Is there anyone near him, or...?
There's lots of people near him.
Okay, any enemies, or all kind of...
No, all allies.
Right, okay.
Of you, I mean.
Okay. Can I fly in front of him in such a way that a 15-foot cone would not affect anyone else?
Nope.
Okay. In that case, he's just going to fly down and peck him.
Okay.
So that's an 18 to hit.
That will hit.
And that will be not that much. 5 points of piercing damage and 5 points of poison damage.
Nice. Okay. So Truffle zooms across and flits around just in front of Sixth face and manages to pierce him in the arm that has the metal hand. And you hear a of pain as it pulses through him.
Okay.
Is that the end of Truffle's turn?
Yeah, that's all he'll do, I think.
Okay. At the end of that turn, the half-orc girl, seeing that Truffle has done that, is going to bite you, Flint.
Oh.
So, what's your armor class?
17.
Ah, she just hits you, I'm afraid.
That's okay.
So, she starts to leap at you, and the half-orc, you see that her lower tusks jut out as traditional half-orcs do. But then you see her canines lengthen to meet them as she lets out a and comes and launches her teeth at your neck and bites down. So you take 12 points of piercing. No, hang on. No, so Hang on a second. Okay. Sorry, read the wrong thing. So you take 6 points of piercing damage and 10 points of necrotic damage, and your hit point maximum is reduced by 10.
Ew, it's not fun. Okay.
Okay, and she is now lodged on your neck.
Okay. Does that make me grappled or?
Not at the moment. She seems to have chosen to bite rather than grapple.
Okay, so when it gets to my turn, I can still move and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sweet.
Okay, that is the end of that. So it's now Juniper's turn, but she's gone somewhere.
Yeah, she said she needed to dip out. She'd be back in a
Okay.
So do you want to just pause over her or say that she holds her turn?
Oh, Ed, I think I've done that slightly wrong. So bear with me a sec. Yeah, so forget that damage. Take that back.
Okay.
She should have done
Gladly.
something. She should have done something else first.
Okay.
So she tries to strike you with her hands. You can see the teeth still, but
Okay.
you take 8 points of bludgeoning damage. No, hang on. No, she is going to grapple you instead.
Okay.
So she reaches for you with her hands and manages to take you around the neck and move your head. So you are considered grappled. You didn't take that damage and your hit point maximum wasn't reduced.
Okay, cool. But I know what to expect next turn.
Yeah.
Okay.
While we wait for Jess, I have a number of questions about the room. Would this be a good time to ask them?
Yeah.
So, where they came from,
Yeah.
was there a door there? And is that door still there? Is it shut?
The stairs lowered.
Yeah.
So there is an open passageway at the top of the stairs.
Okay.
But this individual, surrounded by others, is at the bottom of the stairs now. So it's not an easy route to get up.
Okay. Are there any other doors where we came from?
There are, but they are attached to the chambers that are no longer attached to anything else.
Yeah. But the doors would be openable?
No.
No. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. You can go to Jess now.
Okay. Juniper, it is now your turn. As
Wonderful.
you see that Flint is now grappled by the half-orc girl.
So rude. Right, well, I am going to, as my bonus action, command my army of undead animals to attack the half-orc girl.
Okay.
I can't remember how, I think I had 4 or 5.
You had 5 because you'd recast it.
Yeah.
So
Wonderful.
what's their movement speed?
So their movement speed is 30 feet.
Okay.
More than mine.
They could just get to her.
Just get there, lovely. I'm going to use the brand new D&D Beyond dice.
Not sponsored.
Not yeah. Okay, so at least one of those got a natural 1. It is, what is it to hit? Blah, 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 plus 4 to hit. Okay, so one got a 17, one got a natural 1, so they obviously didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
One got a 13, one got 9, and the other one got 19.
Okay, so what was the first one?
16, I think.
16. Okay.
It's now disappeared. The
Okay.
Beyond.
The 19 is the only one that hits her.
Okay, that's fine. That's a whole 1d6 plus 2. It's proper crazy. These beautiful, beautiful woodland creatures. Oh, that was a 6. That's 8 points.
And is that piercing?
Yes, that's piercing damage.
Okay, so this squirrel skitters over, its bones rattling and tapping on the stone as it moves across, and then goes to sink its large teeth into her toe. And you see her make no reaction, and a tiny drip of blood moves out from under the boot, but it didn't do as much damage as you were hoping.
Oh. I mean, she's now flanked, though, I assume. But
She is, yes.
Yeah. Not that. Okay, so the other thing I would like to do is animate some objects. Are there stones or anything around I could use as projectiles?
There aren't stones, but there is the discarded wooden sword that you could use as one.
Wonderful. If you were going to assign that a size.
I would say, in terms of objects, it's probably small to medium.
Small to medium.
Medium.
Medium. Are there any other things I can use?
No, it's a very clear room.
You monsters.
Does it have to be something that's not being held, presumably?
Yeah.
That is fine. I've already used my bonus action. Okay, I'm not going to do that now.
Okay.
Because I don't have enough objects to make the losing the spell slot be worth it. So what I'm going to do instead...
I need to just carry around a bunch of really random stuff. in a bag. It's like the anime objects bag, and we just empty it out.
I've got a bag full of bones, so next term is fine. Right, I will try using Hideous Laughter on the half-orc lady.
Okay, go for it.
So that is a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. What's the spell DC?
15.
Okay. She failed, but she's going to use her legendary resistance to resist it.
Does she like smirk a little though?
She does, but it's a little bit disturbing because she has
damn
very
it.
sharp teeth.
Cool, wonderful. I'll probably end my turn there, unless I'm literally in front of someone that's going to stab me.
No, you're well out of range.
Nice. Then I will finish there.
Okay. So that's the end of that. It is now the vampire's turn, because you've probably worked out what she is. So she is going to bite you now, Flint.
Okay.
Is that the half-orc?
Yep. And she hits with a 19 plus lots. So you take 5 points of piercing damage.
Just 5. Oh.
It's 8 points of necrotic damage, and your hit points are reduced by that 8.
Permanently? Or...
As far as you know.
Okay.
And you see as she sinks her teeth into your neck that the slight drip of blood that had come from the toe ceases, and she seems to have healed a little bit.
Yeah. I'm embracing it. Count Flintbeard.
Okay, and then, yeah, she's also going to hit you because she can do 2 things at once.
Okay.
And that will hit because it is 24, is 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. Ouch.
Okay, so that is her turn. And then it is the individual's turn. And you see him take out from a pocket in the robe a small glass bead. And then a strange orb appears around them and pushes the people around back. And they are now encased in a translucent orb of magic. Okay, that is their turn. That's that. Erallur, it's now your turn.
I have more questions.
Okay.
So,
Is this like in real time?
Whoa.
God, I have questions.
Has the masked figure got a weapon of any kind?
When you say masked figure, which one do you mean?
Oh,
'Cause
sorry, the one we're fighting.
The one you're fighting is just hooded.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Do they have a
No.
weapon?
No.
Okay. Do they look physically strong?
No.
Okay. But the half-orc presumably is physically strong?
Doesn't look it, but now that you're looking at her and she has bitten into Flint, you can see that her forehead has protruded and seems to be in a permanent snarl. So there is underlying strength, even if she doesn't immediately appear to be very strong. And she does look like a child.
Yeah. Would I know if vampires take extra damage from radiance?
Roll an Arcana check.
Because if they don't, very disappointing.
I
I'm
think
probably
I-
never going to find out.
You'll know.
9.
You're not sure. You've never encountered vampires before. You've never fought them. You've not really read about them. To you,
So-
they were a myth.
Okay. So she's on Flint.
Yes.
Is anyone else near them? So many more questions than I even thought.
The squirrel.
Okay, but that's
Well,
it.
well, one squirrel and 4 various.
Oh, yeah, the other. Yeah.
Okay, so I've been reading about, not just now, but last session I was reading about Thunderstep.
Mhm.
And it says that if you want to bring someone with you, you don't have to actually even touch them. It's a teleportation thing. So if someone is grappled, how does that work?
I think.
Because what I was looking at was when we were dealing with those big cube thingies, I was like, oh, if someone was in the cube, could I go in the cube and get them out even if I couldn't touch them? So I was reading about it, and basically everyone was saying that it just says you have to be within 5 feet and that's it. It doesn't say anything about touch.
That's interesting.
So I've just looked this up. So for grappling, in the player's handbook, or wherever it says, the condition ends if the grappler is incapacitated. The condition also ends if an effect removes the grappled creature from the reach of the grappler or the grappling effect. such as when a creature is held away by the Thunderwave spell.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
so
hopeful.
in theory, because it's magical,
Mm.
it wouldn't be a contested check.
Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to
think
waste
so.
a spell slot if I'm going to have to do a strength check with my +1.
You're the muscle wizard.
Yeah, no, I think given that reading, thank you, Jess. I think that, yeah, it works.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay, so you
So-
move.
What I want to do for Flair is run to Flint and like when you jump to grapple them. So I'm going to also try and grapple him, but then I'm going to poof and then destroy whatever is left behind.
Okay, whereabouts in the room do you teleport to?
Well, I don't know what, I don't, have a visual, so I'm not really sure what the
It's
options are.
basically a fairly large circular room.
I'm probably going to teleport him as far away from the bad guys as possible so he can get ranged stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. So if you blipped almost to the back left corner,
Mm-hmm.
you'd still give him a line on the individual in the globe, or would you prefer a line on her?
I think probably on her because he probably has retribution to be had.
That
And
makes sense. So yeah,
also he's in an orb of magic.
yeah. So you'd be in almost the far left corner
Okay.
at the back. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
roll your...
So then, well, now it's a Constitution save
Okay.
from them. Either way. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, go on.
What's
So
the spell DC?
It's 16.
Okay, that is a failure, and she's going to take this one. Yeah. she's
So
not
it's
gonna use the legendary
3d10.
resistance. Okay.
Thunder, which is.
What about the skeleton?
Yeah, they have
Yeah.
to make a con save as well.
Oh, Jess.
They've
I do
got-
actually have a thing which allows me to. I'll just roll the damage and then I'll see what that is because I think I can
You can do
choose
a careful spell.
to
can't
give
you?
advantage or something. Yeah, that's it. So, right.
Yeah, only one of them passes the con save. I'm going to say it's the
20.
same for all. It succeeded before.
20 thunder damage, and then let me just quickly have a look at careful.
Careful now.
Thunder.
So I can choose a number of creatures. So I can choose up to 4 creatures to give. Oh, they automatically succeed.
Oh, nice.
So how many are there?
Well, there are 5, but 1 succeeded.
Well, I don't know who succeeded, so I will choose 4 because that's the most I can do. And then I don't know whether those are the ones that.
We'll just
failed
say
or
that
not.
they are for convenience's sake. I can't think of an
Okay.
easy way to decide that
Yeah.
Yeah,
other than going roll a d5.
yeah. Okay, cool.
Okay, so they all save, but do they take half damage?
No, they just.
Okay.
Oh wait. Oh wait.
Are you sure about that?
No, I'm not sure. Yeah, half as much.
Okay, so they would each take 10 points of thunder damage.
Okay,
Jess.
hold on. I'm going to have to make a note on my phone.
This is when it turns out their hit points are like 5 or something.
Yeah, they've got
Always.
more than 10 points. They've
Okay.
got a lot more than 10 points. They've got more than 10 points. Right, I'll just make a note of that.
Okay, so Erallur sprints over to Flint, comes within about 5 feet of you, and you're looking at her as this vampire has attached itself to your neck, and then she seems to stop about 5 feet away, and you almost think, what the fuck are you doing? And then suddenly there's a as you disappear from the vampire's grip and reappear on the other side of the room, and then an even more deafening boom than the one left off by your cannon smacks the half-orc girl in the face, and you see the veins of her face pop a little with the force.
This one, thanks. Ah, I'm itchy.
Ugh.
Ah, it's quite good though.
Okay. Is that the end of your turn, Erallur?
Well, just for future, how many feet away from the 2 people am I right now?
You are 30 feet away from the man.
Yeah.
And 40 feet away from the girl.
That's fine. I'll stay put. Thank you.
Okay. Well, you'd already used pretty much all your movement to get to her
Right.
in the first place.
Yeah.
Okay, now it is Maud's turn.
Oh,
We
Maud,
believe in you,
Maud.
Maud. I didn't mean what I said earlier.
one
Okay.
shot to the
You're
head.
not stupid.
She flicks her eyes from the individual in the globe to the girl, and then shrugs and starts to cast a spell towards the girl, which is going to be, let's have a look. Okay, so you see her hands crackle briefly again, as you did when you first properly were introduced, and she brings them out in an arc and seems to wrestle, similar to Erallur's chromatic orb, but on a much larger scale. And then she claps her hands together and the energy seems to disappear without any effect. But then you see, gathering around the vampire girl, a strange swirl of the same crackling energy. And you see her fun buns stand on end as if by static. Nothing happens immediately, but there seems to be a magical effect just surrounding the area behind the vampire girl, aimed so that it misses the skeletal animals at Juniper's beck and call. So that is that, and then yeah, okay. So she does need to make a strength saving throw because she is in the sphere. Well, she succeeds, so she manages to not quite get sucked into this strange orb of power. That's the end of Maud's turn. She's not going to move anywhere because she doesn't want to. She's going to use a bonus action to drink a potion of greater healing, though. Oh, I rolled so many ones. And a 2. Fantastic. So you see her gulp down this thing, but she actually manages to slop a little bit of the liquid down her cheek and heals a little, but not a lot. Okay, that is the end of that round. But the end of that turn, so the vampire girl is going to move and comes sprinting towards the little cluster of Juniper, the burly guy, and Maud. The skeletal animals do not get an attack of opportunity. She is too quick. Elsie, it is now your turn.
Oh, 1 second. There we go. That's better. How close am I to the force field shield thing?
You are right next to you. It actually pushed you back a little bit,
Okay.
almost against the wall where the javelin had been until Salute came to collect it.
Do I think this thing will attack me?
Roll
Or
an Arcana
damage.
check.
6.
You have no idea. You've never encountered a spell like this.
I'll use the element of surprise, I hope. So I go to attack the hooded figure.
Okay, roll and attack.
Would I have advantage because they can't see me?
You would.
This is with my rapier, by the way.
Yes, I thought it was, but thank you for clarifying.
Why do you always have a rapier?
Because it was an Easter egg, because his previous character did, and I designed this one, so I gave her a rapier.
Right, so 16.
Okay, so you swish your rapier out of its scabbard, try and strike, but it bounces off the globe harmlessly.
So obviously that classes as an attack, doesn't it? Yeah, so I am now visible.
Yep.
Fudge! As a bonus. Yeah, that kind of didn't work. So will they have noticed that I'm invisible?
You don't know, you're behind them.
Yeah, so I'm just going to stay where I am.
Okay.
Hoping that they think that I'm still invisible.
Okay. That the end of your turn?
Yeah, that's all I can do.
Okay. So, Six sees that has occurred, has a look around, and then moves away because it feels like they can't attack somebody in this weird globe. So moves towards the vampire girl and tries to attack her. Manages, I believe, to hit because that's a good strike. Then tries to attack her again. Manages to hit. So Six charges over and stabs the lance through her back, and you can see that she pulls up, and then he manages to slash it across her shoulders as well. Again, not doing as much damage, and you can see that Sixth is getting frustrated by this, and it's only stoking his rage higher. That's the end of his turn. It is then the big individual's turn, who you see out of the corner of your eye, Juniper, something guttural spills out of his throat. Not quite a roar, but a growl. And then you catch the scent of him shifting from the earthy tone that you'd caught when you first met to something much more akin to wet dog, as you see the nails on his hands lengthen to sharp points, and his teeth grow a little as his face and beard get a little bit shaggier, and then he just leaps at the vampire girl. But she manages just to punch him in the head, and he goes down, sprawled in front of you. He is looking a lot more lupine than before. That's the end of his turn. It is now the masked individual's turn. Again, she tries to cast a spell on the vampire, but yet again seems to shake it off. And you can see that she's getting a little bit frustrated and starts to back off. Not to the same corner as you, Erallur and Flint, but to the same side of the room. Okay, that is her turn. Flint, it is now your turn.
Okay, so who do I have a clear line on?
You have a clear line on the vampire girl and the individual in the globe.
Okay. Would I know what sort of effect the globe is, whether any of my attacks would penetrate it at all?
Roll an Arcana check.
Okay.
Do better than me.
Ooh, 26.
Yes, you would know that this is a very high-level spell in terms of the ones that you've encountered before, called Globe of Invulnerability.
So it's unlikely I'll be able to penetrate it.
It is impossible for you to penetrate it, in fact.
Okay. Yeah, I'll attack the vampire half-orc then.
Okay, go for it.
So, oh dear, that's an 11.
That misses. So you try and gain, but there's a lot happening over there. And you just try and draw a bead, but just as you go to shoot, the large individual jumps and she crouches as she brings her right hand down towards his head to bat him down. And the bullet goes over harmlessly.
Okay, I'll use my bonus action to reload and just steady my aim.
Okay, so it is now Saluk's turn. However, the vampire is going to use one of her legendary actions, and she is going to unarmed strike Juniper. Juniper, what's your armor class?
13. I'm so squishy.
I'm a dog!
I rolled a 13.
I'm literally a dog.
Can I use my bend luck, please?
What does that do again?
So I can roll a d4 and take it off. Or add to hers, either.
Do you have to do that before you know that it's hit?
I have to do it before you announce what happens.
Well, I said that
But I can do it
rolled a
after you
13.
roll. Yeah, but I could do it after you've rolled and after I know what the roll was. And you technically haven't given us any more details than that.
Well, but we know that Juniper's armor class is 13 and that I rolled a 13.
Yeah, but I could know that anyway. Do you see what I mean? Because it says you can do it after they've rolled.
It seems to be slightly
But before
different
they've
to
announced the
Bardic
result, surely.
Inspiration.
Shall we go to Dictionary Corner?
You can do so after the creature rolls, but before any effects of the roll occur.
Okay, I'll say yes then. I'll allow that this once. But in
It's just
future,
otherwise I'm not sure how I'm meant to do it, because
Yeah.
if I do it after you say what you've rolled,
yeah,
and it's always going to be the same.
In
you know?
future, do try to say it before I've announced what my role is.
Oh, okay, so I have to do it after you've rolled, but before you say what it
Yeah.
is.
I know
Right.
it's a short gap, but I'll try and leave a bit of a pause just in case.
Okay.
If I don't remember, then that's on me.
Okay. So I rolled a 4. I don't know whether taking it off or adding it to Jesse. Oh no, it's armor class, isn't it? So I'll take it off the attack.
Yeah, okay. So you twist your hand just as you see her lunge for Juniper. And there's a brief moment where you think that she managed to strike, but her head actually jerks backwards as if you just managed to bend the flow of time to your advantage. Okay, that's the end of that legendary action. So, Saluk, it is now your turn.
Okay, so enraged at the sight of this vampire thing attacking my companions, I'm going to heft my spear forwards and I take a swoop at her with all my strength and try and spear her with my javelin.
Okay, yeah, you could fly over there quite easily and reach her, so go for it.
26.
That will hit.
Is your javelin made of wood? Can you like?
It hits
Maybe
8.
not.
Hits an 8.
Yes.
Okay, so Saluk flits over, stabs the javelin down towards her head and manages to score a line across her parting. Again, doesn't bleed as much as you were expecting. Is that
Okay.
the end of your turn, or are you doing something else?
No, I'm going to do something else. So I had planned to hit her again, but if it's not going to
You can.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to do a flurry of blows,
Mm-hmm.
which I'll spend a key point.
Yeah.
So the first one would be a 16.
And is that unarmed, or are you doing with the javelin?
Oh,
still?
sorry. So flurry of blows is always unarmed.
It's always unarmed. So you managed to swap your javelin to your offhand and then bring the talon in, but she knows you're there now and manages to dodge out of the way of that first attack.
Okay, and then I just tried a second punch. Oh no, that's even worse. So no.
Yeah, so she's prepared for you now, and the second attack she actually manages to grab your hand and just squeezes it a little bit before throwing it back to you.
Okay, I take a kind of quick, like wing-assisted leap about 10 feet away from her and disengage.
Okay, that's absolutely fine. So you twist with the momentum of her throwing your fist back and manage to arc and flare your wings out just to stop you from going too far backwards. Okay, Truffle, it is now your turn.
Okay, yeah, Truffle is going to attack the vampire as well. How's that 15-foot cone looking?
No.
No, okay, just gonna...
You've got Juniper, Maud, the burly guy, Sick, and now Saluk, all at different angles. It's not going to work at this stage.
God damn it, Maud! Okay, I'm going to attack the vampire with a peck in that case.
Okay.
15.
That will not hit. So she is surrounded, but seems very aware of where everything is, and is managing to duck, dodge, and dive, and even elbows Truffle off before he can strike her.
Okay.
Not made of silver, is he? Oh wait, no, that's werewolf.
Okay. So that is Truffle's turn. So at the end of Truffle's turn, she's going to attempt to unarmed strike Juniper again because she's annoyed because you sent little creatures after her, and then she missed for no reason.
Yeah.
That will hit. So, but rather than doing the damage, she is going to grab Juniper and hold her against her chest. She twists her round, and you see the teeth lengthen as she looks like she's about to bite her. So, Juniper, it is now your turn. You are grappled.
Oh no. Well, so my skeleton crew of creatures.
That's their official name now.
Official name, the skeleton crew.
The skelly
Basically, it takes a bonus action for me to tell them a new thing, so they will continue to try and attack her.
Okay.
So I assume they would move. I don't know if that is more or less than 30 feet.
It's just within 30 feet, so they could get there.
So they will all go and try and
Scamper up. Okay, yep.
try and scamper up. So I guess I will roll 5 dice again and see which one of them hit. Got another one. Yeah, okay, so only one of those hit again. I'm going to say it's the same squirrel.
What did you roll?
16, the rest were like below 10.
That doesn't hit.
Oh no, 16 plus 4, sorry. So
That does hit then.
Yeah, sorry.
Just.
Yes, that was my non-math skills. Right, so again, a whole d6. Wow, plus 2. What a good squirrel. Oh, 5, 7. But again, it'll probably be half because of the vampirishness of it all.
Yeah, so again, that blooming squirrel starting to get on her nerves as it scampers up her leg and sinks its teeth into her thigh. Is that your bonus action?
No, because they're already fighting.
Oh, yes, because they're already... Yes, sorry.
If I asked them to change attack...
Yes, sorry,
focus,
yeah. You did say that and I missed it, sorry.
No, it's not a problem.
Yeah, so
they're not that powerful.
what else are you doing? Still useful. Don't knock them.
Yeah, so my plan obviously was to use a bonus action to get out some, attack things, but probably not going to happen. So I think, yes. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 things. Number 1, I am going to use animate objects to throw that sword thing at her.
Okay.
Which I will need to roll to hit.
Yeah.
So hold on, let me just check. Did we agree it was medium size?
I think we'll say medium, yeah.
That's fine. All of the animate objects have different stats depending on what size they are. So medium size, that's a +5 to hit. So let me just roll that. Okay, that's a 24.
That will hit.
Lovely. I mean, the damage in this isn't great because it's only 1 object, so it's not as exciting as it would usually be. That's 9, and that'll be bludgeoning, I think.
Okay, that's cool. Okay, so is that all you're doing? Are you doing anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's all of my actions. I think I will obviously struggle, but not struggling as an action struggling. Just obviously she hasn't gone still.
Yeah, okay.
I'm making weird squeaking noises. It's kind of cute, but also kind of horrible at the same time.
Right, so That is the end of your turn, correct?
Yes, because I've done all the things I can do.
Okay, right. You all see that the vampire seems to be about to bite down, but then spins Juniper around and looks her in the eyes. Juniper, can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
Sure. I have no idea what my wisdom is like, actually. Not the best. Let's roll and see what happens. That's a 15.
Okay. You are now considered charmed by the vampire.
Aww.
She is a trusted friend to be heeded and protected.
Hello, best friend.
Hi. So, you take the vampire's requests or actions in the most favourable way it can, and you are a willing target for the vampire's bite attack. Each time the vampire or the vampire's companions do anything harmful to you, you can repeat the saving throw. Otherwise, the effect lasts 24 hours.
That's some strong-ass charming.
Or until the vampire is destroyed, is on a different plane of existence, or takes a bonus action to end the effect.
Fair enough. I found a new best friend.
Plane shift time.
Yeah.
She's just jealous because she doesn't have her own army of the dead, Jess. That's all it is.
Yeah, she just wanted my skeleton crew for her own.
And then she just whispers in your ear, Juniper, and says, "Kill the dog, man."
Okay.
That is the end of her turn. It is now the dude floating in the orb's turn. Okay. That won't work.
Did you say it was the orb's turn?
The dude floating in the orb's turn.
Oh, okay. I was like, the
You
orb is sentient?
Orby, our sentient orb friend. He's been with us so long.
You won't remember Orby. We have such good memories with them.
It's Orby, Orby, Orby.
Yeah. So you see, again, the crackle of energy around the metal hand, and it shoots towards Flint and Erallur. Can you make dexterity saving throws for me, please?
Oh, no.
19.
5.
5. Okay.
I can choose to... Is this a spell attack if it's an area thing? Or
It's a
what
spell
does
attack.
mean?
It's not an area of effect, but it's an arc of lightning going towards you.
I choose to make it miss.
I'd
I'd like to use it against the grains,
Okay. Yeah,
Please.
you can do that. So,
which is a new thing.
yeah, the lightning arcs around, but strangely, just as it's about to touch you, Erallur, it seems to just twist around you, almost in a Faraday cage effect, and doesn't hit you. But Flint, it hits you, and you take the entirety of its damage. Because,
With a 19.
Yep, his spell DC is higher.
Okay.
What did you roll?
19.
Yeah.
And I cast it at the 5th level, so it's going to be more. And I rolled 2 1s on the last. That's great. So you take 33 points of lightning damage from that one.
Okay.
So that's that. And you see it arc out of the orb, seemingly not dissipating said orb.
Okay.
That's that. Erallur, it is now your turn.
Okay. Could you just describe to me where people are specifically, if they have people around them?
Yes, so the vampire has a lot of people and
Yeah.
creatures around her. The shadowed individual just has Elsie behind him, looking a little bit nonplussed because everybody else has gone, and she tried to hit him and nothing happened. So Luke is a little ways off from the vampire and the group there. The masked individual has backed up against the wall, and Sir Lamphy is still prone on the ground, but is apparently awake and watching this battle.
Do I have a line of sight on the half-orc girl?
You do, yes.
Okay. And can I see if I would recognise what the orb is that this hooded figure is using?
Roll an Arcana check.
Natural 20.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would know of this spell as well, and know that it's pretty hard to get into it. The only things that can are spells above 5th level.
Okay. And do I know how long it lasts for? And if it's concentration?
It lasts for up to a minute, and you would know from getting that as well that you can target things inside, but it has to be above 6th level. It can't be
About sixth.
Yeah, above 5th. It can't
Fifth.
be a spell cast at 6th level. That's a lower level spell. It has to be a 6th level spell in its makeup.
So it can't be 5th at all.
No, and you can't be casting it.
It's
at
not
6th
5
level.
and above. Okay.
No, it's 6 and above.
Okay. I only have one of those.
Use it.
And presumably no physical
Nope.
anything.
Nope.
Okay.
You can't like blast it and monkey ball him off the tower.
The thing is, if I use it, that's it. And he probably has some legendary resistances or something.
Do it. Play it for the moment.
Yeah.
You don't know.
No. How far away is he? It is a he, right?
Yes, he
Yeah.
is 30 feet away from you.
Okay. Range. Okay. Right. Well, it's a range of 60 feet.
Yeah.
So you don't actually know what this is, do you? That's
No.
exciting. Did you say if I knew if it was concentration?
Yes, you are aware that its concentration lasts up to a minute.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So my eyes become an inky void, and he must succeed on a wisdom saving throw. Which is
Okay.
probably not going to work, but I'm going to give him a disadvantage with my
Okay, what's your spell,
Heightened.
Lacey?
16.
So you're using heightened to give him disadvantage.
Yeah, which I need to double check how many things that takes.
Okay, well, I rolled 19 plus 2 on the first roll. I rolled a 4 plus 2 on the second.
Oof.
So he fails.
Okay, so
He does not have any legendary resistances.
okay, so he's asleep. That's
Okay.
what I choose.
Amazing.
Yeah, the eyes stay up, and on each of my turns, I can choose to target someone else. And then I shout to everyone, "Don't attack him or wake him!"
Okay, so Flint, having seen the lightning arc around Erallur and have no effect, and you've never seen that before, you then look to her and do a double take as her usually white eyes go deep black, and she reaches out her hand and just points at the individual in the globe, who suddenly drops from their floating in this strange sphere. The sphere dissipates, and they just fall onto the ground, apparently unconscious.
Do I still have movement?
You do.
Can I get as close to them as I can
Yeah, you can get to them.
and prepare to probably tie them up in some way?
Okay,
whatever.
yeah, you can do that.
With a priority of covering the mouth so that
Yeah, I will
you
say,
can't talk.
because you have rope in your pack, don't you?
Yes,
Because
yes.
everybody does.
Yeah.
So I will say you get the rope out as a bonus action. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'll wait.
Brilliant. Okay.
Do you need any more details on? The spell's called Eye Bite, so.
Oh, I love that spell.
um,
Cool.
but
Okay.
yeah, it doesn't say on his go he can't like
No, he is
wake
asleep.
up or anything.
He's
No
asleep.
one do anything to him. 'Cause that was my only one.
I mean, you did yell,
Yes,
so
hopefully
We'll
that
see.
works. But it's not just us here.
no, true. Okay, so that's the end of your turn. It is now Maud's turn.
Come on, Maud.
Don't do anything stupid, Maud.
She is going to drop the spell that she was using before because she can't move it towards the vampire without hurting a lot of people. So she is then going to reach out and try to... Yeah, she's just going to do a Ray of Frost, I think.
Solid.
Yeah, so she makes a range attack. Ooh, she hits. That's nice.
I knew it. I knew
If-
she would be good.
Yeah, she more than hits, so that's great. So she cold damage, which vampires are not resistant against. So you just see the vampire girl shiver as this small ray smacks her just on her ribs, and part of her clothes frost over and stick to her skin. Maud is also going to take the opportunity to back off a little bit because she knows that something's going on with Juniper and the vampire. So that's the end of that. Elsie, it is now your turn. The hooded individual is asleep at your feet. Erallur has come over and told you not to hurt him. What would you like to do?
Or wake him.
I wanted to poke him with my pointy thing. So
I will kill you. I still have some 5th levels left.
Erallur actually says that because she can, because it's a free action.
And my eyes are still black.
Yeah.
I'm like, turn, and I'm like, I will kill you.
So the only enemy is the vampire girl.
Yes.
How far away is the vampire girl?
35 feet. Don't give me that look. I'm using a map and everything.
I will use firebolt
On the girl.
on the girl.
Okay, I will say in order to do that, you'd have to move forward maybe 10 feet to get a good line. Is that all right?
Okay, yeah, because it has
Yeah.
a range of 120 feet. So,
But in order to get the direct
okay.
line, because there's
Yeah,
people
that's
in
fine.
the way.
so do I step over the hooded person?
You could step around them. That'd be fine.
Oh, I kind of wanted to step over them, but no, I'll
you
step
can
around.
step over. You can step over
No,
him if you want.
Knowing my
Should we see if he's awake? Make a dexterity check.
19.
You actually managed to somersault, front flip over him. You do not touch him. Doesn't wake.
Okay, so
Erallur, there's a brief moment where your breath catches in your throat as this small gnomish pirate leaps over the top of this individual that you've tried to incapacitate.
So I cast firebolt.
Okay. Are you casting it at its basic level or higher?
Well, it's a cantrip.
Yes, but if you can cast cantrips at high levels, do more damage.
It totally says that. I don't know why I didn't realise that. I think it's because it goes up automatically in damage depending on what level you are. Does
Yeah,
it also...
so
Oh, just firebolt does, doesn't it? Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, so
I'm wrong.
firebolt is just because I am 11. It does more
Yeah.
damage.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
ignore
What's
me.
Mage Hand at level 9 like?
You just rip someone's heart out.
It's like the Marshmallow Man in what is that? Ghostbusters.
So yeah, 19.
Just hits.
Oh, so I then Oh, it increases. Okay, so I now 7.
Did you roll a lot of ones?
I rolled 3 ones.
Welcome to my world. Okay, so the 2 fingers come up again and launch the firebolt, and you see part of her clothes catch fire just under her armpit. Looks like that hurt her as much as you were expecting.
Cool. So fire does seem to do damage.
Yeah, seems like magical attacks do damage.
So then, as my cunning action, which is basically a bonus action, to dash, to stand in front of Maud if I can get close enough to her.
Yeah, you could definitely do that. Yeah, okay.
Cool.
Is that the end of your turn?
And that's the end of my turn. That's all. I can only do one thing, really.
Ace. Okay, so
A bit squidgy.
bear with me a moment. I need to look something up. You briefly see Sick seem to focus in his rage a little bit more and direct his anger in a slightly different way. And he hums something to himself. It's just a soft tune. But then you see the sheen of his lance turn a sickly purple as he arcs it towards the vampire. And he has advantage because she's flanked. So that will hit. Okay, so you see the lance jut down into her side, and then it's almost as if she's suffering whiplash as her head arcs back. Seems like he may have done something to her mind with that attack, as well as her body. And then he's going to strike again, and he hits again, and does a little bit more damage. She's still looking very reasonable, but you're chipping away at her. And then you see the masked figure come all the way over to you, Erallur, and stand at your side over the figure. But they don't do anything. They're just looking at him, turning their masked head from side to side as if looking for something. That is their turn. It's now the brute's turn. He stands up and makes a swipe for the vampire with his long fingernails. Manages to hit her. 3 almost claw marks streak under her eye, and she looks not necessarily panicked, but certainly a lot more determined than she was before. It is now Flint's turn, but before that, she is going to move out of this and she doesn't provoke opportunity attacks because of it. And she's going to move towards her friend Flint. Okay, Flint, it is now your turn. As she sprints towards you out of the group.
Okay, she's not within melee range, is she?
She has sprinted that far, yes.
Okay. Let me just check something quickly.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to attack her with something a little different.
Excellent.
I'm going to try my Behir Lightning for the first time. So that's 21.
That will hit.
And that is 24 points of lightning damage.
Okay, so you bring your hand out, and did we say that it was a melee at this close range, or are you...
No, so it's 20 feet long and a 5 foot wide line.
Okay, interesting. So you...
Is there anyone behind her?
No.
Okay.
I will explain in a moment why I said interesting. So you reach the hand out, and as she's running towards you, you bring the energy and trigger the pulse, and this beam of lightning twitches towards her and splashes across her shoulders, and she twitches as she's running towards you. So Luke, your feathers fluff a little as you're just out of range of this arc of lightning. Literally, because you're flying, it doesn't hit you. But Flint,
Sorry about that.
Flint knew that.
Sure I did. I knew that.
I can't
Okay.
roll those back, you know.
Okay, is that the end of your turn, Flint?
Yes, that's all I'll do.
Okay, so at the end of your turn, she's going to use another legendary action to try and unarmed strike you. She does so with a 23, and she's going to grapple you again.
Okay.
So that's that. It is now Sir Luke's turn.
Oh, that grapple makes things difficult. Okay. How is she grappling Flynn? What's the setup?
She has grabbed him around the shoulders and is trying to pull him in for a bite.
From the front to the back?
Her back is to you.
Okay. I charge at her back with my javelin and try and strike her.
Go for it.
18.
Okay, so you go and she turns her head as if she's heard you coming. You go to stab and she just moves her body out of the way. You just missed.
Fuck's sake. I pass it into my offhand again and I swipe at her with my talon.
Okay,
23.
that will hit.
That would hit for 6 slashing damage. I would also like to spend a key point to turn that into a stunning strike.
Okay, so what kind of save is that again?
That's a constitution saving,
Okay.
right?
And what's your DC?
15.
So close to being good. Yeah, she fails, so she's going to use a legendary resistance to resist that. Yeah, you forgot about those, didn't you, pal? So she is not stunned. Are you doing anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. Truffle's turn.
Okay, so Truffle is going to fly down next to Flint. So with the massive Behir lightning earlier not hitting anyone, 15-foot cone?
I will say, if Truffle went right by her head, he could manage to just get the initial bit of the arc on her head and just miss Flint and Saluk.
Yep.
And I mean, it is very close.
I mean, that's all he
one.
needs. So I don't need to roll anything. If you can just make a Constitution saving throw for me, please.
That is not very good.
Good.
That's a 10.
Ah, just. Okay, so she takes the full damage. So that's... wow. Of those 6 dice, 4 of them were ones. So that's 12 points of poison damage.
Okay. So you see as this arc leeches and seems to actually go into her ear for a moment, and you see her face turn a very different shade of green. She's looking pretty hurt.
Oh.
Okay, is that the end of your turn? Truffles?
Yes, that's all.
Okay. Juniper, it is now your turn.
I'm charmed.
You are.
Yes.
And Flint's hurting your new best friend.
I know, it's terrible. Well, I think what I'll first do is use my bonus action to command the skeleton crew to attack Wolf Boy.
Okay.
Are they close enough?
Yeah,
Kind of
they're
lost,
still
yeah.
all around. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, let me just roll that really quickly. Oh wow, that was really bad.
Oh, I thought it was really good.
No, 3 of them were under 12, so I'm gonna guess they're not gonna hit.
They aren't. No.
And one was a 16.
That one will.
One was a 15.
That one will as well.
Cool. Let me roll damage for them. 17.
Wow.
Yeah, they've just decided to go up a level.
Okay, so they skitter around him and sink their teeth into him, and he just looks around and then glares daggers at you and goes, "I knew you would turn."
I look offended. I'm just like,
Clutch those metaphorical pearls.
yeah.
Okay, so that's their attacks. What are you doing?
Yeah, so how far is Flint away from me, I guess?
Flint is 30 feet away from you.
Okay, so because I'm charmed to think she is my friend, but I see Flint as my friend, I think Juniper would cast Hold Person rather than immediately jumping.
I think that's reasonable. Yeah, you wouldn't
Yeah,
necessarily
I think-
attack anyone.
Yeah,
And you-
especially
it
because I
doesn't-
haven't been told to kill.
Yeah, and it doesn't
Yeah.
override your friendship with Flint.
Yeah, it's like whereas Wolf Boy, obviously I don't know who he is that
Exactly.
much. Yeah,
Wolf
that's-
Boy is not your friend.
It's
Yeah.
it's almost as if I planned it that way.
What? That's terrible. Yeah, so I'm very sorry, Ed. Could you make a wisdom saving throw for me?
Sure can. Wisdom, after all, is Flint's strong suit. As is his charisma. 13.
Sorry, the DC's 15.
Ah!
Most polite PvP.
So-
Like,
Et tu,
I'm sorry.
Juniper!
I'm sorry.
Flint, you hear the soft trills of Juniper's lute, which erstwhile have been so pleasant and soothing to you as your muscles lock up with this vampire holding your shoulders.
Ah, shit.
You can't even say that. Your tongue tries to move, but it does not.
Oh, shit.
It does say completely paralyzed, yeah, so I guess you are. The
Yeah.
good news is on the end of your turn, you can make another wisdom saving throw.
Oh, yeah, that turn that comes in 6 other people's
Yeah.
turns.
Unfortunately, there's nothing in here about damage
Yes.
or anything.
Okay, so Flint is
I'm like-
held.
I'm sorry, Flint, but you need to stop fighting. Friends shouldn't fight.
You can't make any noise.
Can
Okay.
I breathe?
You can breathe, but you can't make any. You can't move your tongue.
Yeah, otherwise that'd be a really easy way to like kill
Just-
somebody.
I hold you.
That's sad. Suffocation in D&D takes at
It
least
takes
a
a
minute and
long
a
time.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Juniper, is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I think it will be. I don't. think
Okay,
it's
so it
exciting
is now the
to me.
vampire's turn. Because Flint is held, she has advantage.
Nom, 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 nom.
So
Sorry,
she's
Flint.
first going to make an unarmed strike, which definitely hits because that's a 27. Oh, come on! So that's 5 points of bludgeoning damage because I rolled another 1 on the damage dice.
I might use yeah. I'm thinking about using my last bend luck.
Okay.
Just so you know.
Okay,
So
you want to use it or not?
yeah,
I'm okay.
you're okay.
I'm okay.
Then no.
Okay.
Nice.
So she tries to bite, but strangely, it seems like Truffle just bothers her at the wrong moment, and her head snaps the wrong way, and she just closes on thin air. I rolled a 2 and a 3.
Aw.
What's your armor class, Flint?
More than that?
Well, no, but what?
17.
Yeah, so she doesn't hit you, which is ridiculous.
Such a shame.
Okay, that's that. It is now the individual's turn,
Who is asleep?
who is asleep. So it doesn't say anything about saving throws or anything.
Would you like me to read the actual?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
Thing. So the target falls unconscious. It wakes up if it takes any damage, or if another creature uses its action to shake the sleeper awake.
Okay, so he's asleep. That's fine. Erallur, it's now your turn.
So I will tie him up. Specifically, I'd like to stop him from being able to speak. So
Okay, so gag him. Yeah.
yeah. And then if I can still do other stuff, I would like to see if I can find any kind of arcane focus and or components and remove them from his person.
Okay, I will say that tying him up is your action. and your bonus action is to investigate. Does that seem fair to everyone?
That seems fair to me.
Okay, yeah. So just can you roll a dexterity check with the tying up, first of all? Because we need to see how good your knots are.
Probably 7.
Okay. They're a little bit loose. You're not entirely happy with some, and they get a little bit knotted wrongly. But he is asleep for the time being.
Yeah.
So, and then your investigation?
0. A 1.
You find nothing of the sort.
Okay. Is the thing the pearl he used?
The crystal,
The crystal?
when he fell unconscious, that shattered. I should have said that.
Okay, cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Can I see, is there anyone near us? Oh, the masked person is here.
The masked person, yeah.
But the half-orc is all the way over with Flint.
Yes.
Which is 30 feet away. 40
Yes.
feet is me on that. Okay, cool. I'm just going to stay here and basically stop people from waking him up.
That seems fair. Okay.
Don't!
So
Yeah.
it is now Maud's turn.
Maud's holding a balloon with a pin.
It says they have to use their action to shake them awake. So I don't think...
Other than
Oh,
being
yeah.
attacked or shaking.
Otherwise, like, being in the midst of battle would just immediately...
Okay. Let's not do that, because that will hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
Has a wild mat appeared.
Yeah, she's just going to do a Ray of Frost again, but it's going to be at a high level, I think. So she's just got a direct line on the vampire, so she's going to cast it at... What has she got? Oh, actually, no. Yes, so she's going to cast it at... Oh no, Ray of Frost is similar to the others, so it gets higher as she goes up in level, so it's 3d8.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It is. So she's going to do the ranged spell attack. Ooh, she hits, because that is a +7. So it's a 20, so it does just hit. So that's good. Maud's pulling
Reduces
awake
movement
suddenly.
speed as well.
That's true. So it gets 3d8, 4, a 3, and a 1, so 8. Yeah, I can do that. That's fine. So again, a cold streak of blue arches towards the vampire and strikes her in the lower back. So Luke, you see one of the points that you were trying to jab her with the javelin just sparkles with frost. And she seems to be trying to move, but isn't as quick as she was before. Okay, that is the end of Maud's turn. Elsie, it is now your turn. I'm sorry I'm boring you, Adam.
No, not at all. It's just there's a lot of people to get through. So she's not vampire girl. She's not really been susceptible to physical damage, has she?
No, it does some, but not a lot.
So I am going to then cast Witch Bolt.
Okay.
Which bolt?
Witch Bolt.
It's the magazine rating spells for wizards everywhere.
Do you have the branch of an elm tree that's been struck by lightning? Or whatever the fuck it is.
No, but I thought we ruled
She
against
has-
that.
Elsie has a focus which negates that. It's fine.
16. I don't think that hits, does it?
It doesn't, unfortunately.
So that was a waste of a spell.
So you see this dark purple streak of energy just dance around, but manages to streak over the girl's head.
So I just cross my arms, looking annoyed, and just look at Maud like...
She looks at you and says, well, I hit her.
Yeah, you're doing better than me for once.
For once.
And yeah, I can't really do anything else because I only have one action.
Yeah.
No one's really attacking me, so I'll just stay where I am.
Okay. So it is now the 6 chords go. The masked individual takes your lead, Erallur, and looks over the body, seeing that you were unsuccessful.
Having just stood there and just like looked at them, not picked any pockets or anything.
Yeah. But similarly, doesn't find anything.
Okay. Do they seem to do a reasonable job of searching though?
Yeah, pats
Okay.
them down lightly,
Mm-hmm.
trying their best not to wake them up,
Mm.
and seems to do so, but finds nothing.
Mm-hmm.
There's no magical items, there's no focus, there's no materials.
Mm-hmm.
It's odd, right? To the point that you find it odd.
Okay.
They used that glass bead, but you don't know where they kept it or why. Okay, Six is going to sprint over to the vampire girl and attack her. And because Saluk is behind and Flint is in front, well, Flint's held, so it wouldn't count as an... Oh, well, a 2 and a 4, so it doesn't hit. Second attack does hit. It is 8, so 4 damage. And then the big individual is going to, having been attacked by Juniper's creatures, attack Juniper's creatures.
No!
So, yeah, it's going to swing at one of them. Doesn't hit. I don't think. What's their armor class, Jess?
Their armor class is 13.
Yep, doesn't hit. And then is going to make their second attack. That one does hit. So that one takes 14 points of slashing damage as this massive sword swings across it.
Okay, I'm going to say that was the pigeon, and the pigeon is now scattered.
That was a pigeon? You never mentioned that.
I've written down, I think, pigeon, rat, badger, fox, and squirrel. But only
Nice.
the squirrel did anything.
Okay.
That's why I only mentioned
So
the squirrel.
the pigeon gets scattered.
Yes, the no more pigeon.
Okay, so there's a
Bye-bye, pigeon.
as the bones skitter across the floor. And then he's going to use his third attack, because he has 3. That is also going to hit, because that's an 18. And that is 14 points of damage that time.
Yes, goodbye, Mr. Rat.
Aw.
Okay. And then he's going to use his action surge to do it again.
Oh, it's like a massacre right here.
That will hit because it's a 16 plus 9. That's 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay, yep, not dead. The badger is just alive.
Okay, and then he moves to attack a different one this time, seeing that. And that's a natural 20. So that's 8, 16 plus 5, so 21 points of damage.
Yeah, what does the fox say? Nothing, because it's dead.
What
Dead
does the fox
means-
say? Oh.
Those
Okay.
halcyon times. Remember?
And
Oh.
yeah, and the last attack is 17, and that is on the squirrel, because that's the only one he hasn't
That's
attacked.
the squirrel, yeah.
So that is 10 points of slashing
The
damage.
squirrel
on
is
the squirrel.
alive.
I love the image of this, like,
Yeah, he's
big
just
wolf guy.
frantically swinging his sword.
Other people, much bigger threats, and he's just like, I want to kill all the tiny animals.
Tiny animal.
Looks like he has issues. Okay, so that's his turn. Flint, it is now your turn.
So, where's the vampire woman? She's still in
She's
front
holding
of me, right?
you, yeah.
She's holding me, right.
And you're held.
Okay, so I guess I'll try and escape.
Okay, make the save then.
Ooh. Ooh. That's 17.
That breaks it. There's a 15 DC.
Yep, so you break out of it, but that is the entirety of your go, I believe.
Yeah, it's at the end of the turn.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the end of each of its turns, the target can
Okay.
make another wisdom saving throw.
So, seeing
Sorry, Flint.
that you've been released from the hold person, at the end of your turn, she goes to bite you again. That will hit. So you take 6 points of piercing damage and 7 points of necrotic damage, which also reduces your hit point total by 7. And she
Okay.
looks a little bit healthier as a result.
Okay.
So that's the end of your turn. It is now Saluk's turn.
Okay, I am still right behind her, aren't I?
You are, yes. She is flanked now, so you would have advantage on any attacks.
I was just going to ask that because now that Flint's out of his
Well, it's not just Flint, it's also Sixth. She's covered on 3 sides.
yeah, but he's not one of those, so I don't care.
No, but Flint, but Flint is grappled, so it wouldn't technically have given you the flanking because he can't move as well.
Cool, right, so I'm going to slash it in the back with my tongs.
Okay, do so with advantage then.
The 25,
That will hit.
that hits for 7 slashing damage, and I'm going to stunning strike again.
Okay. Is it con save?
Con save 15.
That is a failure. She's going to use her last legendary resistance to resist that. So,
Ooh.
next attack.
Then from that, as a bonus action, I'm going to do Flurrying Blows.
Well, you've got 2 attacks, haven't you? Before
Yeah,
you
but
do.
can I not do attack number 1, bonus action off that, and then do a second attack?
I suppose you could. Technically, the second attack comes because it's part of the attack action.
Oh, okay. I'll do my second attack and then.
Yeah.
Much of a muchness. Yeah. So
Yeah.
second attack. Is it still advantage?
Yes. Yeah, they all are.
28.
Yep.
That hits the 7 slashing damage, and then I'll do bonus action for Flurry of Blows.
Yep.
25.
Yep.
That hits for 9 slashing damage. And last but not least, 27.
Yep.
And that hits for 10 slashing damage. And from that one, can she make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Yep.
Of 15.
That's a natural 20.
If she's stunned, does that affect it?
Usually it would mean that it would be at disadvantage, but stunning is weird because I argue that if you're stunned, you can't move. So why would you succeed at a dex?
No, she's not stunned because
He's not stunned, yeah.
Listed. No, I forgot she was listed.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
natural 20. Okay.
Yep.
So, that the end of your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it is now Truffle's turn.
Okay. Truffle is going to see if... Nope, he doesn't recharge his poison, so he's just going to attack her. That's 16.
That will miss, unfortunately.
Okay, so he can't do anything else.
Okay, that the end of his turn.
Mm-hmm.
Juniper, it is now your turn.
Oh, well, the much smaller skeleton crew is going to attack again.
Okay.
So I'll just roll for that. Oh my god, one got a natural 1 and the other one got 18. I don't know what, it's just this squirrel.
Yeah.
It's the squirrel.
So the 18 does hit.
That's great. So let me do this. It's only 4 points of damage though, so
Okay.
not
So having seen most of its brethren scattered, the squirrel, determined, punches its fist into its bony paw and then just bites down on his kneecap and there's a hiss of pain. Okay, that the end of your turn?
Yeah. Well, no, because I suppose
No?
a spell.
Oh, no, of course, yes, sorry. I keep forgetting that that's not your action.
Okay, now I'm going to try calm emotions in a 20-foot sphere from where Flint and the vampire are. I don't know who else would get caught in that.
Saluk and Sick.
Yeah.
It's an area of effect. Don't worry about me.
Yeah. Well, it's so basically they all need to make a charisma saving throw.
So this is an area thing.
Yeah, anyone in that 20-foot thing.
So I get 3.
Oh no.
Charisma. Oh, I couldn't. Bloody minus. 14.
She got 22.
22. So I can make a target indifferent about creatures of my choice it's hostile toward. So I would like to make everyone non-hostile to everyone else in the sphere.
Okay, what's the spell DC?
15.
Okay, so let's see Okay, so Sick and the vampire resist, but Saluk and Flint don't. So you are now indifferent to the vampire girl.
However, the indifference ends if you're attacked or harmed by the creature or witness any of your friends being harmed by it. So
Okay.
she's not going to eat your shoulder and you'll be like, I'm fine with this. What a good time. But yes, you are no longer hostile.
Okay.
For now.
That the end of your turn?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Sorry, everyone.
That's okay.
Okay, so
Nice.
let's see if she notices that. She does notice that you seem to have calmed in her grip, Flint, and she actually lets you go, turns and sees that Saluk has lowered the javelin and doesn't seem to be attacking her anymore, but Sick is still very much there. So she lunges for him.
Mm-hmm.
He's not your friend. So.
Exactly.
Although he is
She
on our
manages to hit
side.
him, so
The winner of this battle is Juniper.
The winner
She
of
made
everything
everyone
is
friends.
Juniper.
Yeah.
okay. So she manages to hit him with the unarmed strike, but as she comes at him with the teeth to try and grapple and pull him in, he actually just tenses his muscles, and you can see the arc of his neck just bulge as he's resisting, and she can't bring him down to her level. So that's the end of her turn. It's now the individual's turn. He's unconscious. Erallur, it is now your go.
Okay, so where is Soralamphi?
She is still prone on the floor, but she seems to have lifted herself up onto her arms a little.
Okay, so I'm going to say to her and to the masked person next to me, perhaps we should take him somewhere else. And then I gesture up to the hatch, I guess, at the top of the stairs, and then see what their response to that is.
Okay, make a persuasion check.
Okay. 13. Did not roll very well.
You can see Sarah Lamphy seems to blink quite a lot and then gather her focus on you and just gives a very curt nod. The masked individual says, "Lead the way."
Are you going to help me carry him?
Oh, I suppose I'm not very strong, but between us, I'm sure we can manage.
I'm not either. I'm sure we'll be fine.
Okay, so do you go to lift up the arms?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
But I'm not going to lift him very high off the ground, just
yeah.
in case.
So I will say you can drag him a little way, but obviously because it's not her turn, it's a bit funny.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I feel like we're in initiative, but we're also kind of just acting like we're not. So it's like one of those weird.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Now
also, I'm keeping the eye bite up, by the way.
Yes,
because if he wakes up, I can hopefully just try again.
Yeah, I thought you would mention if you were dropping it at any point. That's fine. So it's now Maud's turn. She's just going to dash. So your sister, Elsie, dashes across the room to the other side of where the vampire is. It means that she uses her action to do so, but she is still far enough away that the vampire won't be able to attack her, but it's just so that she can get a through line on a spell.
Okay.
So that's her turn. Now it is your turn as we're up to the top again.
All right. So the vampire is in the middle of everyone else.
She is, yes, and she's looking quite battered and torn.
Do I have a clear shot at her?
Yes, you would, because Saluk is still in the air.
Cool. So I'm just going to try and cast Firebolt again and try and actually roll the right dice this time.
Go for it. Did you roll the wrong dice?
I did. I rolled D6s rather than D10s.
Oh, finger maths. Adam's doing finger maths.
That's the only kind of maths.
It's not going to hit. I got a 13.
No, again, you just can't quite get your angle right as Saluk's wings are just battering in the way, and you swear.
Don't blame Saluk.
You swear that it's his fault. It's not,
totally,
but you swear it is.
It's totally Birdbrain's fault. So, because I've got nothing fucking else to do, I'll just saunter over and go and stand next to Maud.
You'd had to use your cunning action to dash, so you wanted to do that.
Well, yeah.
She used her entire action to dash, so.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. I'll
Cool, okay. So it is now the sixth chord's turn. So, yes. Erallur, can you make a strength check for me?
Yep.
Oh, God.
19.
She rolled a 16, so that's really good. So between
Surprisingly strong people.
You manage to move, and I'll say because both of you are carrying it doesn't impede your movement.
Okay.
Because usually it would halve your movement, because there's two of you, it'll increase it back to 30. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, so yeah, you managed to get the body about 3/4 of the way up the stairs.
Cool. Is Sarah Lamphy trying to, is she like just staying put?
Yeah, she doesn't seem able to
Okay.
do much. She seems pretty disorientated and quite bloodied. Okay, so that's that. The big dude is then going to make his strikes against the skeletons. That's a hit. And that does 10 damage against the badger.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh.
Gone. I'm sorry.
Oh.
R.I.P. Badger.
Was that the last one?
No, the squirrel is left,
one
which
squirrel.
then that hits again, and it takes 13 damage.
Yeah, it's third as well.
Okay, and then he turns around to look at you, Juniper, and says, "Your turn," and swings the sword at you.
Ah.
But rolls a
Typically.
natural 1.
Aren't the other creatures that Juniper created in the previous room, they got
They
blinked
did
somewhere
get
else?
bounced, but she cast it again.
Right,
So
okay.
those
I
ones
was going to
now...
say, could they just
No.
come out of backstage area or
If
whatever?
you cast the spell again, any previous surviving
Okay.
ones go
That
down.
makes sense.
So as you see your squirrel fall, you're ready for the swing and duck underneath the sword, and he just shaves a couple of hairs from your head and then lets out a roar of frustration. Okay, that's the end of his turn. Flint, it is now your turn.
Okay, so what can I see? Can I see the individual being taken up the stairs.
Make a perception check, because it is all a little bit crazy.
Yeah. That's not great. 4.
No, I will say, just because of your angle, it's quite difficult to see what's going on in the rest of this fairly shadowed room.
But I can see the vampire, yep.
Yes, you can see the vampire attacking Sick, but you are indifferent to the vampire at present.
I am, yeah.
Unless you consider Sick an ally, I'm not sure.
Well, we made a vague deal with him, and he was fighting on our side.
And you're still under the suggestion, of the masked individual.
Yeah.
Who said, let's work together. So I will argue that perhaps your emotions are not as calm as they were before.
Okay, so yeah, I'll attack the vampire then. If that's
okay,
right.
Go for it. Same with you, Sir Luke, if you consider Sick an ally. Your emotions are no longer calm.
22.
That will hit.
So that's 8 points of piercing damage and then 19 points of thunder damage.
Lovely. Okay, so the cannon, you bring it up just to beside her head as she's turned to face Truffle and Sick and is trying to scrabble at Sick. And then there's a moment where she just hears the hammer cock, and then there's a as her head just outwards, and the rest of her body turns to mist.
Nice.
Similar to if you've ever seen it when Blade pushes that vampire's head against the train.
Yeah.
Her body is now just floating mist.
Oh.
Nice. Anything odd about the mist? It's not like gonna fly somewhere else and turn into a wolf or something, is it?
Roll an Arcana check.
I'm rolling well now. So that's 21.
Yeah, so in the myths about vampires, there is a little bit of information that you just recall now, that when a vampire seems to have been killed, if it drops to when somebody would usually be unconscious, the mist is still the vampire.
Okay.
It is still a consciousness, but it doesn't have a physical form.
Would I know how to stop that consciousness, or?
Yes, you would know that if it isn't in sunlight or running water, then it's fine.
Okay. Where does it seem to be going at the moment?
It doesn't seem to be moving at the moment because it's still your turn.
Okay.
So this is immediately after you've blasted it to bits.
Okay. I'm just going to shout to the room. It's down, but not out for the count. Does anyone know any sunlight spells?
Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Okay.
I'll reload as my bonus action just in case.
Okay, so at the end of your turn, she is going to use one of her legendary actions to move. She doesn't elicit opportunity attacks and she is missed. And you see the mist dance towards one of the doors that was closed and opens out onto nothing, but the mist seeps through and then disappears into the blackness of the chamber beyond.
Okay.
Juniper, you are still considered charmed by her because
Oh.
she's not destroyed.
She's still chilling.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so you are left in a room with slightly shifted allegiances and alliances, and Juniper, the large individual, is still bearing down on you, seemingly ready to attack. Erallur and the masked individual are taking the unconscious form of the metal-handed man up the stairs. The rest of you are licking wounds, injured, but have managed to bring down a vampire. And that is where we will end tonight's session. Thank you very much for playing. I hope that fight wasn't too long or boring.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Eventful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for listening. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Everybody wants to say bye, say bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
So long.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
Ah, ah, ah.